He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Tired Zone. It is ground shaking, but never media show money taking the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying / tired villain in YouTube entertainment today, Mr. Zod. Today, if you notice, I've got my beautiful face on. I'm still in my blanket. I am a consummate professional. Jesus Christ. No. I'm here with the beautiful Jay McCarthy to do some. We put our heads together. We had such a fun time doing our stream that we were like, hey, let's continue to talk about this writing thing because it's fun. There might be aspiring authors out there and people who would like tips and tricks. I learned a bunch of shit from the stream. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, why don't we come together? And we're going to be doing this Fridays and Mondays. So far, that's what we're going to try to shoot for because it's our respective off days. And we're going to do this every Friday and Monday. Friday on my channel, Monday on hers. And we're going to make this kind of like a thing if you guys like this and keep going with it. So, welcome. How are you doing on this very gray morning? It's gray over here.
Over here too. Like I woke up to like this really like weird like squishy sound, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I looked out the window, and it was just like raining, but it was like really weird. I was like, "What? I don't know what this weird sound is." But anyway, I'm doing well. How about you? I'm sorry I made you get up so early.
Oh no, it's fine. So a little funny side story to that. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of anime, and one of my favorite animes was Naruto. And Netflix, yeah, they have the whole season, and we got to the tuning exams. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to bed after this episode. And then I get the next one. I'm like, no, seriously, after this. I got to like season 2, episode 10. And it was originally season 1, episode like 12. So, yeah, I made some poor decisions.
You can't stop in the middle of the tuning exams. Are you kidding?
I know. I was like, oh man. Janie Davis says at J McCarthy, do your fantasy romance books have non-human characters?
Yes, they do. So I have specifically in the Darkwalker Saga, which is what I'm working on right now. For those of you that don't know me, I think all of you do, but my name's Jay McCarthy. I'm an epic fantasy romance author, and I'm currently working on a series called the Darkwalker Saga, and it is, excuse me. It takes place in a world called I promise I'm an author. World called Zalari, and I have like shape-shifting dragons, I have dwarves, I have a bunch of different types of elves, I have some humans. I try to get as much variety as possible in there, and like specifically my female lead for the Darkwalker Saga is a light elf, and her love interest is a dark elf. So yes.
Ooh, conflict and tension. See, I know things. like it's good to see you. And You know what? Let me say hi to the chat while we got 11 people, because I just want everybody to know that I notice you. Hello, Caval H. Hopefully I said that right. Please don't kill me. I don't read in the morning. Laura B, how are you? TJ, good to see you here. Janie, how are you, Miss Janie Davis? And that was our first good question of the morning. Moose,
That's
how
my
are
husband.
Oh, husband, how are you? See, my wife would be on, in the stream, but she's currently asleep in the other room. She's like, I'm creeping through the room, to set up and do this, and I don't like waking her up, so I go past, and she starts to stir, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Go back to sleep. You know how you try to be quiet and spectacularly fell. And so
Yeah.
I go to her, I'm like, I go, yeah, I'm sorry. And she's like, it's all right. I got to get up to go to the gym. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot you do that crazy shit in the morning where like you get to right now. Um, my workout is with my coffee mug, so that's about as far as it goes until I wake up. There's a lot of lifting. This thing's heavy.
Hi, Margot. Hi, Billie Jean. Hi, Laura.
Billie Jean, how are you? Yeah, Margot, how are you? Good catch on that. I'm slow on the uptake right now.
You're good.
I'm good. My stomach is finally feeling better. Oh, Janie, I hope it's okay because the having stuff with your stomach, oh, that's just terrible.
It's the worst.
So, oh, you know that I'm thinking about writing. Moose, do you have some kind of, are you in my head? Okay, so for me, um, I, I, I'm one of those disturbing people like John Carpenter or Clive Barker or something. I go towards the horror end. I like horror, mystery, thriller. As I got older, more towards mystery and thriller. Now when I say horror, I can do like the Clive Barker, really gruesome stuff, but I've always found the psychological end more interesting. So, I've done a couple of short stories and things like that, but I more want to focus on a novel that will be horror based. So, I like to scare the shit out of people, and I do that in real life inadvertently, apparently. So, like write it down. you know, uh, so I mean, I've done a lot of short story formats. The thing I find is it's easier to construct a short story than it is a long story. I've heard people say long story is good. Um, but for me, short story format has always been easier for me as far as horror goes. It's much more difficult to write horror because when you build up so much suspense and tension, and I've heard other horror writers say this, where like they feel like their ending doesn't make sense or it's gonna suck or something like that. Even if it's like the most like epic ending, they're like, "Oh, that sucked." And for me, that's something that's always worried me about going long format. It's like, okay, if I build up the suspense for like so many hours, people, say I make something good and then people like it and then they get to the ending and they're like, oh, that sucked, like I wasted like days reading this.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely a gamble, and honestly, like I find that okay, let me tell you. So I don't know if you remember me talking about in our previous stream, I have been writing this series, the Terracona Saga, for 20 years, and I spent so much time planning and thinking and doing whatever I wanted to do with it. And, and I got to the book that I was writing. It's called Deliverance, and it's done, but I'm scared to death to do anything with it because I'm like, did I lay enough foundation? Did I do anything? And so literally, as I got to the climax part of the story, I was like, really dreading it because I knew what I was going to do with the climax, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And I won't tell you what I did because in case I do ever, publish it. But it got to the point where I got done with it and I was going through the climax and I was like, I kept stopping because I didn't want to be done with the book. Like, you know what I mean? And so like I've psyched myself out. And so finally I just pushed through it and I finished it. And now it's been sitting for like 2 years.
And yes, I agree with you. Got to have an epic climax if you build up the tension too hard. Yes, I agree with that. I feel like that's a double entendre, and good on you. Or maybe I just come from late night talks where we're all crude, and I'm trying to refine myself for the general public, but that's just not how I work. But yeah, but there is something to be said about that. Like I've been working on my detective story now recently. I know I haven't sent you anything because every time I look at it, I go, "This sucks. What are you doing?"
That's fine.
So it's one of those things where, anything I do, I like to put horror elements into it. And I think it's good before we get into different writing suggestions, because on this, Jay is extremely more organized than myself. So she's got a bunch of like stuff to show you guys. I was just like, hey, we're going to do this writing thing. And she was like, oh, great. What are we going to do? And I go, no clue. You think I know what I'm doing on this? I've gotten lucky. I just come on and talk, and people. But she put everything together, got it organized. So super. I was super excited about doing this. So she's gonna bring up some stuff for you guys.
Yes.
That is going to help you out, some templates, some things like that. And what we're hoping to do with this, and this little episode is going to be a little bit shorter than most, but what we're hoping to do is to bring in the writing community and also give people ideas. And I think a huge part of this is, I agree. Okay, we are our worst critics. I can take the crap out of myself. But what we want to do is, we want to give you guys ideas and maybe hopefully some inspiration, because the worst thing, like was just stated, we're our worst critics. We're the only people who hold ourselves back. I've seen this on YouTube, doing this for as long as I have. The hardest part, we say, is that first live stream, right? The initial stage fright and getting on that. I don't know for other people, because I never had that. I'm an asshole and I'm a vain, so I love fucking talking to myself, even if no one ever listened. I just love talking. So I could have gotten on an empty thing and been like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just gonna," but it's hard. And I think if I was going for something like a book, it would be a little bit more nerve-wracking for me, because it's out of my realm of comfort. And I think that's my thought with this too, was to get you guys inspired to do something. And even if we don't have that many people right now, I'm hoping to build this up too, so that you guys can get some inspiration, because if you have ideas, you should be able to share it. And there's Cherry K right on cue. Great to see you, lovely Cherry. Says it's hard, Zod 2021.
Good morning, my love.
Best mod ever. And Rebecca, I did not miss you, Miss Kitty. The early morning cat is up, Rebecca. Aaron, good to see you here as well. But yeah, so hopefully we give you guys some good ideas. And don't worry, Laura, you can listen if you just want to do that. I mean, I know it's hard not staring at all this. I mean, look at how well put together I am. The organization that I had, I threw on literally my blanket and my hat, and I was good to go. Lemon Pie, what's up? So So let's just jump right into this.
Okay.
So what's the first thing? You take it because I'm just
Because you're just going to keep ranting. No, I'm just kidding.
that's
No.
my thing.
No. So basically, for me, I've been a writer. I've known I wanted to be a writer for ever since I was a child. And I like literally, I don't know if y'all played Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X too, but literally I failed algebra because I was writing a fan fiction of Len and Shuyin instead of doing algebra homework because that's all I wanted to do was write all the time. So I suck at math. But anyway.
That's okay. So do I. I hope that's never like a Saw thing because I'm fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I can do accounting, but I can't do anything else. So anyway. So basically, that's how long I've known I've wanted to be a writer. Prior to that, I wanted to be an actress, and I just love the fictional world. I feel like I've always been one of those people that I try to find magic in the world, and I love energy and all these things, and so it just kind of compiled into me writing. So if you want to be a writer, you need to figure out what you want to write, and in order to be a good writer, you need to be a good reader. And I learned that very early on because I was reading constantly. I have two pen names, my J. McCarthy one that we're on right now, and I also have a J. Marie Fire. My J. Marie Fire pen name is contemporary romance. And so I've gone through some stages in my life where I'm really into like billionaire romances and stuff like that, or, rom-coms and things like that. But I also really love the fantasy element. And I feel like I write contemporary romance better just because I know it. And I just manipulate the real world. But with fantasy, my favorite part is world building. So the biggest thing for you is you need to world build if you want to be a fantasy author. And just let me put a disclaimer out there. I am by no means a, specialist on writing or anything. All I can do is tell you what I've been through, what I've noticed in my research, and do brain freeze. So I'm not by any means a writing professional. I have 3 short stories that are published through my author community on Facebook called The Otherworld. And I've just kind of really looked at it. And the other thing too for writing is what helped me kind of prioritize my writing is treating it like a business. I'm not in writing to make money. That's not really a job that's going to give you a lot of money unless you become like J.K. Rowling or Stephen King or something. But I love to write, and I feel like my characters deserve to be heard. And so I can tell you what I've been through. And with that being said, you have to figure out if you're going to be a plotter or a pantser when you're a writer. So a plotter is somebody that actually goes through with the template and, they actually plot their important stories. And thanks, Margot. And, you have to actually like plot your stories and what you want to do. A pantser is somebody that just wings it and,
Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Me. I don't plot shit.
Yeah.
Like, when you said that, I go, this is sounding like one that's going to be, yeah, that's me. Because when I go into it, like for this, and I'm sorry to cut in just because that, like,
no, you're good.
And I'm like a squirrel with ADD. So when I went into this, I was like, thinking about it, and I'm like, fuck, is there a thing for me? Because what category? Because I don't like to do, like, I can world build to an extent. I've got an idea, like, for the story I've been working on that I still currently am. I know where it's going and where the characters are, but I just kind of just sit down and write. I know there's a lot of people who do like a skeleton, and even before they even make their story, they do like a skeleton draft, which just basically outlines the characters, which is supposed to give them a general direction. Anyone who's been on my channel knows I'm not a general direction kind of guy. I just, I'm like Heath Ledger's Joker. I just do. Like, I don't, I don't like a general course or confines or constraints. So yeah, I'm glad there's a term for me. I'm going to use that tonight.
Yeah, a pantser.
I'm a pantser.
there's also a blend between the two, which I kind of, because I used to be a pantser too, which is why I've been writing this story for 20 years, because I never knew how I wanted it to go. And so I started really taking it in consideration and really looking at everything. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is what I built. So I was on a special assignment, let's just say, where I was taking a college class, and literally all I had to do on this special assignment is take this college class. So I was smart and I got my work done like within the first couple days, and then the rest of the week I could just do whatever I needed to do for personally. So, and then of course I like helped out here and there, but really my main priority was finishing this college class, and I didn't have anything else. I didn't have any other distractions. So I really sat down with that 20-year story and I looked at it all, and I don't want to say I plotted it because I didn't plot it, but I created this tracker just so that I knew what I was doing. So let me see how to share screen here. So this for me is, I don't have two monitors. That's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Oh yeah, screen share magic.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of the day. I love that now I can like share screens and like, hey guys, guess what? Technology, isn't it amazing? All right, so here we go.
Yeah. So these are some of my author expenses and what I was doing. So at the time that I built this, I was saving up money to go on a writing retreat. And so this is all the stuff. So Canva, so I can make my graphics for social media, self-editing, newsletter, mail correspondence, and stuff like that. So, and then I have a list of all the names that came to me during this process. And so I was trying to write that way I could track what names and stuff that I was going to put those, what books and stuff I was going to put those in. And so then this was my goal sheet for what I wanted to do. Mind you, this is just me because I am an HR person, so spreadsheets are my life.
Okay, I just got to ask, just because of the HR thing.
Yeah.
Is the rumors true? Like, do you guys get giddy on spreadsheets?
Yes.
Boy, I'm sorry, HR has a sad life.
No.
It's a sad world to be in.
No.
No, because it's funny. I've heard that. I've talked to people in like my HR department at my job.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, they mention. I've heard them talking about spreadsheets, and there's like a love in their eye, and I'm like, I mean, I God bless you. I don't think I can stare at the. I'd have to get someone to do this. I could never. I would start and be like,
yeah. I mean, I just had time, so this is what I did because my problem with this story that I've been writing for 20 years is the series is so big because I wanted to do a chronicle of this entire world from start to finish. So these are like different books within the time frame. So like this is the acquisition of the world, and so like when the gods come and stuff like that, and and I had different like chronicles. So like I was making it so complicated because I love the world I was building, and so I wanted to make sure that I had everything laid out because that's how big it was going to be. And so here is, let me see if I can make this bigger.
There were just two comments I wanted to get to because this was kind of good. Apparently, we have another spreadsheet lover. Bless your soul, Margot. I can respect that. I just don't think I'd be able to ever do it. I don't have that kind of patience in Cherry Cake. I fall with her. It seems a lot of work. Is there a stoner option?
Right. Yeah. And so this is just the world that I built. So these are the locations, what they do, where they are in the story and stuff like that. And so this is what I did with that story. And then I just haven't. And I wanted to write hero books and villain books. So I wanted to alternate between the two.
Oh, that's interesting. So in this story, you and I've seen this done before, right? Do something from the hero perspective and something from the villain perspective. Now, my question is, when you do a book, will you have like, okay, you have both of them fighting or whatever, and it's the hero's narrative, and then you take it from one side and then the other, or is it just like one side, the other, and then in the middle where you just kind of narrate between the two?
What I was going to try to do with this specific story is, so the way I had it broke down is each, like I had, because I created like a group of people that were all working together on both sides. And so I would write like who influenced who. So like I would write like, this is Arati's story. So then we talk about, her enemy and what he's doing and all that stuff. And so like I would finish her story, and then if her story wasn't finished, then I would kind of carry it on in his story, and kind of like, so I was trying to like mirror image them, essentially, is what I was going to do. Does that make sense? I think I lost Zod.
All right, sorry about that. Oh yeah, I had to grab something. But yeah, so when you're doing this, and you're writing these things down, right, and breaking them down, do you use this spreadsheet for the characters as well? Because I saw that when I was looking just right now.
Yep.
You have so do you literally use this to break down every possible thing?
Yes, for this specific story, yes, because it was so big, I did that. And then I did the same thing under my other pen name, J. Marie Fire, which is the Billionaire Network, which I have 4 out of 6 books done that they just need to go through editing. Because my goal is, especially for like my other pen name, I'll just show you what I'm doing. So this one is like, it's the Billionaire Network, and there's like different sections of like what's happening, and it's one massive plot line, and then they're all, each of the 6 books is feeding into that plot line and dealing with what it needs to deal with, and it's all following different characters that have a specific role in there. For the current story that I'm writing, that's for the collab that I'm going to do with my friend. But for the current story, Dark Walker, I haven't touched this spreadsheet yet. But what I do use pretty regularly, let me close this. Let's see. My husband.
Yeah, I read that. I like that guy. He's got a good sense of humor.
Okay.
We would get along swimmingly well.
Yes.
But yeah, the thing I find interesting, and you've actually answered a question of mine, is how do you keep it all in check? Because when you're building, and I've always been curious about this, because and I'll pull that up in just a second. But I've always been curious about that because you have people like Token and Rowling and things like that, right? They build this big expansive world. It's got several different timelines, several different stories within those timelines, a world built around it. And I've always been curious, like, how the hell do they keep that all in play? Like, and they have to keep the names and everything consistent throughout every story, because if they go to Dagobah Alley or something like that, right? It's always got to be consistent in that place. Everything in that particular area of the world always has to function the same. It's I'm more closer to movies, so it's like when you make a movie or a television show, right? Well, every time someone visits something, it has to be consistent. Otherwise, if you go one episode to a place and then you go back to it and things aren't how it normally runs with no explanation, then people are like, what the hell just happened?
Right. Yep.
So that makes sense that you would like put everything in that kind of order. I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just what I do with that specific story. I will admit, my Dark Walker saga that I'm working on, I'm legit not plotting anything. I mean, I have a general idea. Like I know how it ends and I know how it begins and I know what happens in the middle. So now I just got to fill in the meat and potatoes, I like to call it. So I have the bones of the story. I just don't have it actually on paper. I just know what I'm doing. So, and it's really weird because the Darkwalker Saga is just like coming to me. It's like my characters are really active and they're talking to me and telling me what's going on. So I don't really have time to like plan everything. Like when I sit down to start planning, it's like, okay, need to write. And I'm like, I want to know what I'm doing. But anyway, so this sheet right here is a character breakdown. So when I create characters, I left some information in here so you just kind of see what I do. So you know,
I'm sorry for a second. Bye, Janie Davis. I saw a bye going around. So, and Justice for Depp. Hello,
hi.
welcome. I'm gonna do a shameless plug for a second because I never plug her, but go check out the channel. I believe tonight she does a review, and I would love to do these except for the fact that my job hates me. So I'll be there tonight, but go check out her channel. She does great movie reviews for Johnny Depp movies every Friday. I don't know how she keeps on finding stuff consistently. So there you go, Justice for Depp. There's a plug for you. Oh, you were saying bye to Bill. Okay, Billie Jean. Bye. Thank you for playing that up. Okay, continue.
Somebody just had a question. Hold on. Who was it? Oh, Cherry K, my girl. So, yes. So Cherry K, Darkwalker is actually spelled DA''ARK Walker, and it is, according to legends, within the world I have built, it is a creature of darkness that comes to consume creatures of light and take them from their homes and bring them to the dark side of the spirit realm. And actually, if we have time, I don't know if we will, I was actually going to try to read something that I think you'll appreciate that I wrote in the Darkwalker, if you wanted to hear it, Zod, but I don't think we'll have time. So, but anyway, so that's what legends say in Zalari. But yeah, so this is just kind of my character breakdown. This is information from my Billionaire Network, it looks like. But I just kind of go through and I only focus on what their name is, what they look like, their job, their personality, their morals, and their quirks. Some people get really, really in depth. I do have, no problem, Cherry K. I do have specific character sheets that I print off and I fill in information. But but this is just kind of like my snapshot, like quick look. And then I have that one I already did.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, this is just a short little, a little, just to kind of start this off, because we just wanted to start doing this, so it's going to be a little bit shorter, as we go, probably an hour or so will be the ballpark that we'll go for, but today Miss J has stuff to do. I have to go into a coma for a bit longer.
I thought I had another thing to show, but it was the same thing. Well, either way, so that's kind of like my stuff that I use. Like I said, I like to print things off and really like hand jam. Like I have a tendency to handwrite my stories and then type them just because I don't know why. It's just more comfortable for me to try and, write everything by hand. That way I can just get the idea out there on paper. And then when I actually type it in, I think that's what I was going to show you. When I actually type it in, I use a program called, well, I don't know if I can show you guys because I don't want to get copyrighted, but there's a program. It's an author database called Papyrus that I use. And I'd show it to you, but I don't know if they'll get mad about it.
Yeah, Papyrus, if you're out there, I'm at 1,000 subs, and so now I'm monetized, and I will show your shit off if you want me to. There we go. quick
Yeah.
plug. It's funny because sometimes companies will look at this stuff. There's actually a funny story about that, totally unrelated and sidetracked. I'm sorry, this
That's
might
fine.
happen every now and again because ADD scroll. So I was watching. There's this guy that I watch because if you guys don't know, I'm a game nerd and I do that on my Twitch channel. And I've been doing Disney Arena a lot. I've been coming back to it. And there's this guy who started off his channel about 2 years ago doing Disney Arena. Huge Disney fan. Me, not so much, just that game. And to be fair, they licensed it out to someone else, so I don't consider it part of Disney. They just received the royalties. Anyways, his name's Cozy Gamer, and he plugged this game so much that he actually recently had the development team from Disney Arena come onto his YouTube, and because they first gave him a sponsorship, and he's got such a big community that the devs actually came over and they did a stream with him.
That's cool.
I hope if I could get somebody from DC to ever come. I'm done. I'm done after that.
You can die happy.
If I get someone I actually enjoy from DC to come on to here, I would be a wreck. I wouldn't know what to do. If I ever get Nicolas Cage on here, if you guys saw that stream the other night, yeah. If I ever get an interview with Nick Cage, that's it. I've reached the pinnacle of everything I'm gonna do in life. I would just be like, I want you to know, Nick, I love you.
Let's see. Janie Davis had a question. Are those taken by Darkwalkers able to be rescued, or are their souls gone forever? Their souls are gone for forever. However, it remains to be seen if my female lead has the power to save these people.
I'm gonna guess no, because I like the bleaker side. I'm sorry, I'm a horror writer. If
No,
you
you're
guys,
good.
I'll read some stuff to you, and as we go on in this series, and you guys get the gist that I'm in the end where my stories will never end happy. So I apologize in advance. I'm a very dark person.
I just saw a couple people saying that they didn't have Kindle. They didn't have a Kindle. You can download the Kindle app on your smartphone if you have one, and it's free, I'm pretty sure. So you download it, and then you can have access to all Kindle books. So, just so you know.
Yes, and another shameless plug. Justice for Depp is at 3:30. So anybody watching this, or anybody who will watch this, go over, check out her channel. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, but I would strongly suggest you hit that subscribe button and get her to 400. I actually helped her with her first live stream. One of my most fun times, because I knew what it was like, and very good stuff. Got great stuff over there. So go on and go support her. Yeah, you can get it on an iPad, Margot. I do know that. The Kindle Fire thing, the book thing, is just an app because I've downloaded it on my PC.
Yeah.
So it's just an app that you can download.
That way you don't have to buy an actual Kindle. Thanks for the plug, Cherry K.
Cherry K is just amazing.
Yes.
Janie Davis at Mr. Zods Phantom Zone. I'm not reading your shit then. No, my stuff is very dark. If I do read you guys stuff, it'll probably be my detective novel, which will be dark, but not. Okay, if you guys have ever seen Max Payne, the game, not that shitty Mark Wahlberg movie, Collective Soul. I'm talking about the game, and to be fair, I actually really enjoy that movie now. I think it's just Mark Wahlberg's terrible acting. But anyways, if you've ever seen that game, that's where I'm going with that. I like the thought of a tragic anti-hero, kind of like, was a good guy, fell from grace. I'm kind of into those characters. I like Punisher, and I like people with I think this says a lot about my childhood. I'm a big anti-hero guy. I think it's more complex to have a person who is genuinely good, but they do see the world as morally gray, and they
Mhm.
operate within that, because with what I did and everything I've gone through as far as that goes, I've lived in that morally gray world, and there's something to be said about it, like, because people treat everything black and white, and I like the concept of people who operate outside of that, because I've seen that and seen that in real life. Nothing is right and wrong. There's that little shade of gray that everyone ignores, and I think that's why we have the issues we have. So when I write, I tend to write characters that don't fall into even like the antagonist I'm thinking of right now, and the the side characters. Everybody lives in a morally gray kind of a thing. So that's where I like to sit with my writing. I don't know how you do. Jesus, I'm dark.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I love a good villain, and I love a good villain that could totally be redeemed or not redeemed. I like when it's like left up to question whether or not they'll be a good guy or a bad guy. Let me see. Did I already share this one? I don't think I did.
Hey, Astrid, good to have you over here. Welcome. Good morning.
So, for those of you that are interested in actually planning, this is just like a quick little like plot outline that I do. It's very generic. I just, list things and just kind of make it all go together. So your exposition is going to be the beginning of the story. How's your story going to start? Are you going to have a prequel? Are you going to have a prologue? Are you going to have an intro? And then the rising action is when, everybody, your main character faces a series of conflicts. And then your climax is, this is the turning point in the story where things get crazy. And then you don't know how it's going to go one way or the other. And then what happens after the climax? And then what's the end of the story? And then sometimes I'll write something down here where it says conflict, what's the major problem in the story? That way I don't lose sight of what I'm trying to do.
So you added one, because I remember from school.
Yeah.
The beginning, the
Yep.
the rising, escalating, the climax, the resolution. That's a very good one, because sometimes when you're writing, you can get off base from what you're trying to originally do. That's really cool.
Yeah, and if you guys want, I can give you a little sneak peek of my other pen name for one of them. Let's see.
I love that. Cavill H says Zod, like Robin Hood, got pissed off, fought back by selling. Yeah, it's funny when you think about Robin Hood, and there was a show on, I think, the BBC when they used to make television shows. Oh, don't come after me, BBC. Anyways, but they had the show Robin Hood, and it was really cool because it showed the rise of Robin of Locksley. He was a noble. He was not a commoner. And when he did his actions, when you look at it, it's very ambiguous. Like, everybody treats him as the hero of the story, but when you think about it, he wasn't really a hero. And how many rich people did he actually kill who could be considered quote unquote innocent? You know what I mean? And he stole from them. So there's really a gray area. So that's a great point. Yeah, Robin Hood is not a black and white kind of a character. There's that shade of gray. Yes, the BBC does suck, Cherry K. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
Let's see. Deliverance. Trying to see if I can. Here it is. So here is the share.
And we have 13 people watching. Thank you.
I'm impressed. I'm surprised, actually.
Yeah, I was going to be happy with like 2 or 3 because this is hella early for me, but shows how much I need to get up into the real world.
Right. So this is Deliverance from Terracona Saga that I was telling you about. So this is all the stuff that happens in the beginning. And then this is what happens while she's figuring her life out. And then this is the climax. And then this is what happens immediately afterwards. So, something big happens. And she goes and does the stuff. And then this is what happens at the very end. And then the major conflict of the story, gods and dragons create the world, dividing it up evenly between earth and sky dragons. And then she has to go through and she has to figure everything out. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's all, completed. And then...
Oh, very interesting, Margot. I did not know that. Yeah, you know what? If you're interested in Robin Hood, Janie Davis, just to get a little sidetracked, I noticed HBO Max has some kind of deal with BBC, so they have a lot of the BBC programmings like Torchwood, Doctor Who, I think Robin Hood, Merlin. There were a couple of other things in there. I know Sci-Fi picked that up too, but yeah, you can find a lot of that stuff over there. If you don't want to associate with them, Amazon has all of that. You do have to pay for it, but if you really like a show, Amazon, once again, I'm plugging you, just saying. Anyway, Amazon Prime, that's where I get most of my stuff. I'll buy full seasons if I like something, or they'll just have it.
So my alarm just went off, so I should probably start saying bye.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll wrap this up. Everybody, this was just a quick sort of give you guys a general idea, see if you like the format. Give us feedback. I love feedback. I've been getting feedback on my old critiques now that I'm getting more people. I got into an argument about the new Twilight Zone because my title was "It Sucks." Apparently, someone took issue with that. So, yeah, this is what happens when you critique. But so leave us feedback. Let us know if you guys have questions and stuff. Leave it in the comments of the videos. If you guys notice, I do answer them. If it's longer, I'll just give you a thumbs up. I don't got that much. I can't type paragraphs. I don't like words. Anyways, but yeah, if you guys got questions or you'd like us to get into specific topics, I can kick them back with you. And then we can kind of build on what you guys would like to see us do. Don't forget, tonight is the craziest night. Phantom Talks. By the way, we are going to start a new format. We'll be announcing that stuff. We're going to try to build it more of a Saturday Night Live kind of a thing.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's going to be the way it's always been, but just slightly more structured. Like I said, we can do it better than them. So I'm hoping to attract people, get you guys to laugh.
Right.
Friday and Saturday, we're going to have a late night talks now. So it'll be midnight Friday, midnight Saturday. And then right after my show, we'll go into PB's show, the after party. So the Saturday is going to be disorganized chaos into PB's after party. So it'll be fun. And I got more stuff coming. Also, tomorrow, I'll get the link up on Twitter from Zach, but I'm going to be on Zachary Leary's channel. If you guys remember, I did an interview with him on his book, Dark Space. He invited me to his channel, so I'm going to be giving my review of a movie on Netflix I knew nothing about called Chef with Jon Favreau and John Leguizamo, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., Dustin Hoffman. I didn't know this movie existed, so I'm going to be doing a review over there with a panel.
Cool.
Yeah, I have no clue who's coming. No, I'm watching the movie tonight and taking notes. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So come on and join us there. Thank you very much. Look forward to this. We're going to do this on Friday, I guess, morning, and then and Monday on Miss Jay's channel, we're going to be going over there. So I'll send you guys the link on my Twitter, and you can follow us over there and come over here on Friday. So
Yep.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Margot says, do you have any homework before we go?
Do your homework. I think she's telling you to do your homework.
Do my homework. See,
Don't forget to read the book that you're supposed to read.
Oh yeah, geez, I gotta read a book and do this movie.
You got this. I believe in you, Zod.
Oh God, I'm gonna probably read the book tonight while I'm at work and watch the movie when I come back, and then do my stream. Oh God, this is why I have gray hair. Anyways, everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming, and we will see you tonight.
Yay!
Darkness will fall.